A very good morning, my dear students of class 8. Once again, welcome to the online classes. So we are still in the same chapter, reproduction in plants. And the topics which we are going to cover today is natural vegetative propagation. And under this heading, we will be studying about reproduction by stem, reproduction by leaf, and reproduction by root. So one by one, let us study about all this. Types of asexual reproduction. So this is very easy for you to understand that asexual reproduction can be categorized into two categories. One, natural method, other one is artificial method. In the natural method, we have already finished budding, fragmentation, spore formation. And today we will be doing the last one, that is vegetative propagation, which happens in the higher plants. Whenever the reproductive parts do not take part in the reproduction, whereas vegetative part takes part in the reproduction, that is called vegetative reproduction. Now, artificial methods are also there, that is cutting, layering, grafting, micropropagation. All this we will be studying in the next video. So first, we will be studying about reproduction by stem. The stem of common grass, the grass which we see in our lawns, and mint we use in our food, they grow horizontally parallel to the ground. You will see the stem are growing parallel to the ground. Look at this diagram. So this is common grass. Here you see that this is the stem which grows parallel to the ground. And here you can see these are the nodes and internodes. So from each node you can have a new plant from the stem itself. So this is a kind of vegetative propagation done by the stem. Examples are grass and mint. So they grow parallelly to the ground. New roots and shoots develop at the nodes. Now here the roots, they grow downwards, and the shoots, they grow upwards to form new plants. Now ginger is one more example for this, but before that I will show you the mint plant. Just like grass only, this also runs parallel to the ground, and here you will see that on the nodes it develops the root and the shoot system, and this is how this propagation takes place. When we are talking about ginger, so here you can see these scale leaves, and in ginger you will find out the buds. Okay, these lines which you see, these are the nodes, and in between the nodes you have got the internodes. Okay, and these are the roots. So a piece of ginger having a bud, it can give you a new plant of ginger, and that's what it is written here. It's a modified stem. It has nodes and internodes. So these are the nodes. Okay, these are the nodes, and in between we have got internodes. It has also scaly leaves. You can also see some axillary buds. So these are the buds which turns into a new plant. Growing out from the nodes, the farmers grow ginger from small pieces of ginger containing these axillary buds. So what they do, they cut it into small pieces. Each piece having a bud gives them a new plant. So one activity is there, very simple activity, just now what we learned. Same. To grow ginger by vegetative reproduction, take a healthy piece of ginger, remove one piece from it. Place this piece in the moist soil in a flower pot. Okay? And then you have to keep it for 8 to 10 days. You have to sprinkle some water time and then, so that it is kept moist. In the due course of time, you will find that this axillary bud is growing into a new plant. It will have aerial shoots. Okay, so this can be done in the warm, humid season. The conclusion of this experiment or activity is ginger has nodes and internodes, that is, you have seen already. It carries also thin, dry and brown scaly leaves, and ultimately these are the axillary buds, okay, which grows out to form nodes to produce new plants. Now here you can see, as you know that Sikkim, in Pakyong also, in too many places they cultivate ginger. So these are the new shoots of ginger. Now reproduction by stem continues. One more example is the potato. Usually we think potato is a root, but it's a stem, modified stem. Potato bears vegetative buds called eyes. Have you seen the eyes of potato? Do they have eyes? I'll show you. Now here, this structure, can you see that? These three, they look like eyes. So we call them eyes of potato. So cut a piece of potato with an eye. Put this piece in the moist soil. New plants grow from these buds. So what the farmers do? They cut this potato in so many pieces. Each piece will have one eye. Okay? From there only the bud comes out. You must have seen in your kitchen, if the potatoes are left for a few days, then they develop the buds. Okay? So this comes out from the eyes, and that only turns into a new potato plant. Potatoes kept in humid, warm months may grow out shoots if placed in soil. If you can keep this, one of the pieces in the soil, it will turn out into a new plant and you can get many potatoes from that. Okay? So now here you see, same type of activity is there which we have done previously. So you have to take a potato, preferably one with some green leafy buds have already sprouted out from the eyes. So like this one. Okay. Put this potato in the moist soil in a manner that the potato is covered by just a very thin layer of soil. Not too deep, it should be there up only. Keep the pot in a shady place. Sprinkle some water now and then so that it remains moist, doesn't become dry, and then leave this for 7 to 8 days and then observe. Each green leafy buds grows into a new plant, and each new individual plant together with some tuber parts can be separated from the rest and grown separately. The farmers do the cultivation of potato in this way only. They cut the potato into many pieces. Each piece must have an eye. So from there the bud comes out, and this bud turns into a shoot system, and then root also comes out from there. Now this is, we call onion a bulb. Those who think onion is a root, this portion, because it is underground, no, this is modified. Here you have got the adventitious roots. Now here you cannot see, but here it is clear. Here if you see, these are the fleshy scaly leaves. Okay, if you cut the onion this way, then you will see this portion. Usually we don't use it. This is the disc shaped stem, and from there you will find the adventitious roots coming out. Now these are all the fleshy leaves which we eat. In the center you will have the terminal bud. So here also from the stem you will get a terminal bud, and then you might get 2 or 3 axillary buds also. Now these are the axillary buds which turns into a new plant. So here also we have to do the same thing. Take a healthy onion bulb, we call it bulb by the way, and put it in a moist soil in a flat pot. Sprinkle water every day and leave it for 8 to 10 days. In due course of time, the axillary bud, this axillary bud, what it does? Grows into aerial shoots to form a new plant. Onion bulb has a thick, short stem. So stem is very, very short, disc shaped, in the form of a condensed disc visible in the vertical section. So if you cut the onion vertically, you will find this disc shaped stem. The disc bears fleshy overlapping scaly leaves. I told you in the beginning only, these are the scaly leaves which are fleshy, food is stored there, and this is the edible part of the onion. Axillary bud grows into a new aerial shoots under favorable environmental conditions. So this is the axillary bud which comes out as a shoot, and then you have got a new onion plant. Now look at this. These are few onion plants. So this is the shoot system. Root is there on the ground. Okay. Now vegetative propagation by leaf. Leaves of some plants, and the best example is bryophyllum. Here also we get bryophyllum. So check in your locality, okay, you might get this bryophyllum. They produce buds in their notches in the margin. Now look at this diagram. So these are called the notches, okay. This is the margin of the bryophyllum leaf. I think you must have seen this type of plant. This is called bryophyllum, and this small plants here on the leaf. So whenever this leaf falls on the ground, it gives out many small bryophyllum plants. So these are various varieties of bryophyllum plants. When such leaves fall in the moist soil, their buds in the margins begin to grow as young tiny plants. For this also there is one activity. Now you know that you have to take a fully grown leaf of bryophyllum with some adventitious buds growing out from its margin. So already you can see some small plants are there. Now cut this leaf into bits, each one having a small plant, and put these bits in a flower pot just like the previous one. Keep the soil moist by sprinkling water and leave it for 10-12 days, and then you will see that these tiny plants grow out from the buds. So here you can see in a flower pot how it comes. One more diagram is there. So it will be very, very easy for you to understand. Conclusion, it's a plant whose leaves produce adventitious buds and on their margins. So this is called the margin of the leaf. So here on these notches you will find these small plants. The adventitious buds grow into new plants under favorable climatic conditions. When the leaf with buds fall off from the parent plant. So once it falls on the ground, if soil is there and the conditions are favorable, then it gives so many new plants. Now reproduction by root, this is very, very easy. So here you can see these are the roots of sweet potato. Okay, so there are plenty of roots, and here the food is stored. So sweet potato and asparagus, they have numerous large swollen fleshy roots. Okay, Now each root is capable of giving a new plant. So this is the propagation by the roots. Carrot is also one of the examples of this type of root which gives new plants. Now here one activity is there. Which is about grass. How to see this vegetative propagation by grass. It is by the stem. Put a piece of long grass in a pot and cover some of its portion with moist soil. Leave it for 10-12 days, and just like the previous cases, sprinkle water whenever it is required. After a few days you will see that these are the nodes, and from each node you will find new shoots are coming up. Maybe in the beginning it was not there, but now they are growing, okay, reproducing small plants. After a few days, new grass shoots grow out from these buds. Conclusion: long grass has a long internode. So this is the long internode, and all these are nodes. Between the successive nodes, creeping on the surface of the ground. So they run parallel on the ground. From each node, roots are grown. So downwards, roots are grown, and above you will find the shoot system. The axillary buds at the nodes produce new shoots. Now here we have got advantages and disadvantages of vegetative propagation. Some advantages are there and some disadvantages are also there. Advantages means why farmers they prefer this. Reproduction by vegetative plants is quicker and more certain. It's very sure that you will be having the reproduction, and it is very fast method. New plants thus spread very fast in a small area. It's a surer method of propagation. Now, the good characteristics of the mother plant is retained by the daughter plant. So plant is identical, it's just like the parent plant. So all the good characters of the parent plant, if the parent plant is healthy, all this daughter plants also will be very, very healthy. But the same thing goes against it. As all the plants developed by vegetative propagation are generally identical, similar, they are all likely to be affected simultaneously if a disease is spread in the farm. So since it is from the same parent, so if there is any disease, the whole lot, all the plants, all the new plants will be affected by that disease. So that is a disadvantage. Now dispersal of plants does not take place on its own. For example, when I was talking about Bryophyllum leaf, if the leaf falls, mature leaf falls on the ground, so all the tiny plants will grow just below the parent plant, and likewise there will be competition among the plants for the resources. So overcrowding will be there. So developed tend to remain nearby and restricted to a particular area, leading to competition for the resources. And the last one, it does not produce a new variety because it is from the same plant. Now, since you are in class 8, don't do this, okay? Don't put the mask in the ear. Just read this. This is important. Protect yourself from negative messages and fake news. So don't watch unnecessary news regarding this coronavirus, okay? Some fake news are also there, some rumors are there, so don't listen to them, okay? Just keep your mindset positive, stay home, stay safe, and that's all for today. Have a good day.